Hello, Safety 380 Intro students. I don't even know if you guys are going to watch this, but this is a review. I meant to do these more often, but since we had the face-to-face or instructor-student meetings last week, I was kind of waiting till after that. So what I like to do is just kind of go over the overall scoring, show you how others are doing, and kind of compare it to yourself. Right up top, I've got the averages per week, and what I do is every week before I open up the next module or the next week, I record the number of touches and the time everybody spent. And then I have an Excel sheet where I track it every week and I look at the differences. So there's an average of about 96 touches per week. The median is 95, so we know that's a pretty strong number to base it on. The low was 18. So if you're that person, you're probably not looking at enough stuff. The time per week, the average is about 1.5 hours. The median is about 1.4. So again, pretty tight combination there. The low is 15 minutes. If you're that person, you are not spending enough time on the course. And just speaking to everybody during the faculty, or I'm just say, sorry, the instructor meetings we had last week, yeah, it probably hour and a half to 2 hours is really what everybody should be spending on average. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on what you want to get out of the course. So that was, I think that was actually the first 3 weeks. So then I went into the fourth week. 98 was the average. 88 was the median. Do you see how that kind of changed a little bit? So we did disparity, but it is only 1 week. The time was 1.3 hours. The min was 20 minutes. So whoever's not spending, and I'm noticing a correlation between low time, low touches, and low scores on quiz, low scores on the reflection assignment. So you need to spend above an hour and a half a week on this course. I don't think that's much to ask for a 3-credit course. The quiz averages, we've got the first 3 here. We didn't have it on the first week, so in the fourth week we did quiz 3. Got the average time here. You have 30 minutes, so the average is well within that standard. The scores started out at a 7.8. The median was 8. Went up to 8.3 and 8.2, but the median did go up. And so I think you guys are kind of figuring it out. When I met with you, I always brought up, what are you doing to prepare? And I think you know that if you look at everything and you complete the study sheet, the lecture study sheet, and have that available with you when you take the quiz, it should be a lot easier. That's pretty self-explanatory. There are going to be issues with the quizzes because it is a quiz bank. So everybody kind of takes a little bit of a different quiz. There may be some questions that are written erroneously, and so contact me when you do. Some of you have already been doing that. I'm going to cover one in a moment, but please keep in contact with me. As far as the reflections for the first 3 weeks, lectures 1 through 5, the average score is 8.4. The median was 9.7. Which that means is majority are doing really well. A handful aren't doing too well. The average for week 4 was 7.9, which is lower, but the median was 10. And so again, a lot of you have figured it out. Write a paragraph. Refer to content from those lectures. Refer to personal experience of what you think, and write a paragraph. If you're submitting 2 pages, so you're answering 2 questions per page, that almost guarantees that you're going to get a 10. If you're just jotting down a few sentences, and those sentences really don't refer to any of the material or anything experiential or personal, that's where the scores are going down. So not everybody met with me last week. I actually had a group of students who avoided me, 22% of the class. So what I did is I did this comparison where I've got the entire class. I've got the average touches, average time, reflection average, quiz average. We just covered that. Then I've got the non-meeting students. So in the red in the center, these are what their averages were. And then below that for the meeting in the green, I've got their averages. Do you see the differences? So I ran a t-test. What a t-test does is it determines whether 2 groups are significantly different based on a particular variable. And so I ran it for each of the variables: touch average, time average, reflection average, quiz average. Again, this is through the first 3 weeks or module 1. And as you can see, all were significant. So the people who really I needed to talk to help out, didn't come see me. So if you haven't seen me yet, please, it takes 2 minutes. I think everybody can agree with that. 2-3 minutes maybe, unless you wanted to speak to me longer. Let me help you understand what needs to be done to do well in this class. Because I'm afraid that we've got some people who are some students who are really behind, and they've got a lot of work to do to bring it back up, or the grade won't be what they want it to be. So those were my basic tips. I gave it to you. Spend an hour and a half to 2 hours in the course. You get out of it what you put into it. Make sure you're looking at everything and you're using the study sheets, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment, because there's some stuff in the lectures that may not be completely up to date. And I try to provide you with additional reading and websites, and I want you to look at those to get the most current. And you should be able to detect what those things are, and not just rely solely on, oh, I watched the video, I know everything, or I looked at the book, I know everything. Look at everything, okay? So here's the question. There's quiz questions about the maximum penalties that OSHA citations can hold. And if you watch the lecture, it's the old numbers from like 2 years ago, but they've updated it for the last 2 years. And so I've got a red arrow pointing at a link that's under the assigned readings and the study sheet. I want you to go there. And if you go to this link, you will see that here are the current maximums. And it just changed, let's see, 5 weeks ago. So 5 weeks ago, they updated this. And I'd like you to know that the max penalty for the serious is just under 13,005. The max is just under 135,000. So that's the correct answer on the quiz if it happens to come up, not the 7,000 and 70,000. That's actually, twice removed. There was actually some other changes that it was in between. So please make note of that. Please, when you look at everything, don't just, watch the video, that's all I need. Look at everything. Look at the study sheet, do the readings, and then sit for the quiz, and then I'd even complete if you were me, I would complete my reflection assignment first, and then I would take the quiz very last. That would be the last thing I'd do, and I would have all my materials right around me, so I could verify certain answers, and others I may have to look up to verify. So that's basically it. So this video's longer than it should be. Please, as I've told everybody I've met with, contact me if you have questions. I'm here to help, guide, whatever I can do to make this course both enjoyable and a great learning experience. So thanks.